Welcome to today's edition of Crypto Corner at InvestorIdeas.com. News on what's driving the cryptocurrency market. Hello everyone, this is Sam Mowers here and welcome to episode 563 of the Crypto Corner podcast. For news today, BitDigital has announced the purchase of 4,871 miners in Q1. BNXA has reported its total transaction value results for March. Graph Blockchain has deployed $2 million for the purchase of cryptocurrencies, and XRP has hit its highest trading price since 2018. Just before we get into today's show, though, a quick reminder that if you enjoy this podcast, please feel free to share it or leave us a review. And as always, I recommend checking out some of the other podcasts on InvestorIdeas.com. Some of these include the Clean Tech and Climate Change podcast, as well as the Cannabis podcast, both of which will bring you up to speed on the latest stock news and trends in their respective spaces. BitDigital Inc., which trades on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol BTBT, announced that it has completed the purchase of 4,871 Bitcoin miners with a total hash rate of around 324 petahash per second in the first quarter of 2021. The addition of these Bitmain S17 Plus, Bitmain S17, and Bitmain S19 Pro miners brings the firm's total hash rate from 2,250 petahash per second to 2,574 petahash per second. BitDigital's CFO, Erica Huang, said, quote, "With these miners installed, average utility costs should further decline, and we should see an increase in our daily Bitcoin production capacity. We expect to continue to invest in miners to increase our overall hash rate capacity in the near future." End quote. BNXA Holdings Inc., which trades on the TSXV under the ticker symbol BNXA, has reported its total transaction value, or TTV, results for March 2021. Highlights include a TTV of $79.5 million Australian for the month, representing a 13% increase over the previous month and a 696% increase over results from March 2020. The company's CEO, Holger Arians, explained, quote, "The digital asset industry has been undergoing a period of sustained and continuous growth. This has driven interest throughout the market. The sudden influx of new users on exchanges and wallets has driven higher demand. However, the interest in BNXA is largely decoupled from digital asset pricing. There's interest irrespective of price. If the market moves downward, clients buy the dip. If it moves upward, new entrants enter the market for the first time. This has placed some strains on the services of digital asset service providers, including BNXA. We've scaled up our customer experience and support teams to cope with that extra demand." End quote. Graph Blockchain Inc., which trades on the CSE under the ticker symbol GBLC, via its wholly owned crypto subsidiary Babbage Mining Corp., has deployed additional capital of $2 million Canadian for the purchase of Polkadot and Cardano. Paul Haber, the CEO of Graph Blockchain Inc., said, quote, "The Babbage team has been closely reviewing different tokens, and we are excited to announce these acquisitions today to further deploy the company's capital. As we expand the crypto portfolio, Graph's value add will include the ability going forward to leverage the crypto acquisitions into building a diversified crypto enterprise within a public company." End quote. Finally, earlier this morning, XRP was trading as high as $1.10 US, the highest it has traded since March 2018, according to data from CoinMarketCap. This is perhaps most notable for happening despite a previously reported case filed against Ripple, which employs XRP in its payments network, by the SEC, a case that remains unresolved. That does it for today's Crypto Corner. If you would like to be a guest or sponsor for this podcast, contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products, services, or securities. Investors are reminded all investment involves risk and possible loss of investment. To hear more InvestorIdeas.com podcasts, please visit InvestorIdeas.com/audio. And a reminder, you can also hear our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Audible, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and most audio platforms available.